has to activate another card. Going to go with that Dwarven Alliance. So he can purchase soldiers for 2 BM apiece from a mountain, even without a barracks there. Finally moves into that forest. I think a turn or two too late. Obviously, it doesn't matter because blood can't move in that direction anyway this turn. Claims a forest, and so he went tier 2. He was at 13 and 14, so he has enough to purchase that forest, goes tier 2, activates the Summon Citadel. So this forest becomes a stronghold in the middle of the map that Blood is going to struggle to ever swing over. Why? Because his general is the main component of his force, and the general is going the opposite direction. So I really like this play. This is really close to an impassable barrier. He also converts that forest into a mountain, utilizing his tier 1 ability, giving him a free mountain. So that Citadel has now become a mountain tile, contributing to his building materials, and it's also adding to his defensive dice roll courtesy of the Earth passive. This is very good, strong play. Chandler has played the Earth Nation several times. He's gotten a couple wins off of it. Knows the abilities pretty well. Goes ahead and activates another tier 2 ability, Piercing the Mantle, doubling the building material production of one of his tiles. Obviously going to select this mountain tile with a resource building on it. So that mountain tile alone is producing 12 building materials a turn for him. So he's getting, with extra building materials that he acquired, he's going to purchase some extra soldiers, utilizing that Dwarven Alliance. Actually, we said that he went tier 2 this turn. He had to have gone tier 2 last turn, and maybe that's why he didn't expand into any new tiles, because he just spent all of his resources advancing. But you still, even if you can't purchase it, putting units on those tiles is going to perhaps distract your opponent and maybe prevent them from moving into it. Then, of course, he's going to put defensive fortifications everywhere. This is what they want to do. Remember, they're playing for that tier 3 card, that spare rooms. Every structure is going to give them a soldier. So putting defensive fortifications absolutely everywhere. And just expanding his soldiers where he can. Can't move north. That doesn't really impact him because he is in the northern half of the map. But he can't move east into his opponent. Blood draws their advantage card. They get Taming the Kraken just once, allowing you to destroy the structures on an enemy-owned ocean-adjacent tile. Seen it utilized to devastating effect in many instances of this game. Let's see how it can show itself in this game. Sandy went tier 2. He's now at 11 and 6. Converting his own forest tile to an altar. Another buff to Blood is that the altar tile now has the productivity of a rainforest. So he actually buffed his economy even further by doing that. But the altar is kind of their central gimmick to their theme. That's how they can sacrifice their soldiers to enhance the strength of their general. Still sitting at 11 and 6. Lots of resources to play with here. Going to utilize that Universal Recipient in addition to his Universal Donor, because he can use it twice, which is going to allow him to produce 5 more soldiers at a discounted price. So that'll bring him to 1 food. And he's going to get 2 more free resource buildings on this rainforest. Look at this corner of the map. Wow! These 2 tiles alone, that's like all of Air's economy on just these 2 tiles. Like I said, Blood feeling juicy in these early stages of the game. However, weakness to it, no units on the board, right? He's got 2, 3, 4 total soldiers. Air's got an army that's looking pretty close, chomping at the bit. Earth is developing a whole lot. Economy is getting a lot better too, especially after hitting tier 2. So let's see if Blood's increased numbers, let's see if he can bridge the gap here to stay relevant in this mid game. I think he definitely can. These numbers are looking big, big, big. Don't they look big? Another thing about this is perhaps you don't want to overload these ocean-adjacent tiles, right? As someone who has made the cards, I know about that Kraken card. Now, I understand there's over 100 advantage cards in the game. That Kraken card is one of them. And it likes to appear when you overload those ocean-adjacent tiles. You can't just rebuild those back for free with this universal donor card. So, it's devastating if it were to be utilized by an opponent. But he has it in his hand. He knows that someone else doesn't have it. So we go to the Air Nation. The Tornadoes are out of season at this point. He's at 19 and a 14. He's currently the only nation not in Tier 2. Gets that boom economy. Massive advantage card for Air because they don't have inherent economic benefits. That barracks is back in session. So he does go Tier 2. He goes Tier 2, putting him to 9 and 4 for this turn. Considering attacking this field tile with the Blood Nation, keep in mind all he's got is this castle. Moves the general to the swamp, playing for a more centralized position on the board. Goes with just one soldier to go and purchase this lake. And this is probably a very short-lived purchase. Maybe just trying to cash in on some resources while you can. But that being said, if you only have it for one turn, then it's going to cost you more than it's going to give you. Trains one soldier at the swamp. Alright, Air attacks the field. He does still have a very healthy attack buff here. So he's getting 2 added to his dice roll just from being an army, and then an additional 3 from the 2 fields and Tailwind. So he's adding 5 to his dice roll. Pretty confident win here for the Air Nation here. I'm pretty sure even if he rolls a 1, it is a victory, and that's what he was calculating before he attacked. But if you know what Blood's Tier 2 abilities are after they just hit that last turn, this is a short-lived gain for them as well. Right, so the field is claimed. It is a star tile, so highly contentious. Air now owns 2 star tiles and has killed a boss. Right, let's take a look at the state of the other areas of the board. Earth's got a star tile. Blood has 2 star tiles. They had 2 star tiles. They now only have 1. We've got a fairly low health boss over here. No one at a win condition yet. New weather events. I believe this is the first time this card has been played. The comeback card, player with the least amount of soldiers receives 10 food and 5 building materials, which of course is the Blood Nation because he has sacrificed 10 total soldiers this game. He's only got 3 or 4 on the board right now, so the nation currently with the best situated economy gets an extra boost to it, a total of 15 resources. Not sure I like the sound of that right now. Yowza! His numbers are going to be mighty high for this turn. Updated resource totals for this turn. After that comeback edition, Channing City gets 17-24. Stanny 33-24 can go Tier 3 easily. Xenair 17-12. Weakest economy, but has the most military on the board. Massive casualties. Very powerful advantage card. Can eliminate an army anywhere on the board just before you attack. Pretty good. So he's got a couple mountain-themed advantage cards and the massive casualties. Also has quick feet. Lots of really good advantage cards for Earth this game. And where do we think he's going to go with this? Right, he's positioning like he wants to do battle with Earth or maybe go for this Hydra. Has really shown no desire to go east into Air. Tosses that Force Hospitality advantage card. Like I said, not too many uses for it. Moves the soldier into the Elemental Temple. And goes and purchases the Tier 2 Summon Citadel back. Remember what the whole gimmick of the Elemental Temple is? Yes, it eventually becomes the Aether tile if the game goes on that long. But you can repurchase your abilities back. For 10 and 10, he gains access to the Summon Citadel card. He's looking to make another fortress on the board. I like it. Thinking ahead. Few more defensive fortifications, just playing for that Tier 3 game. And I think that's what Earth does. With the current iteration of the game and the mechanics, how they work, you go for Tier 3, grind out as much land as you can, get to Tier 3, pop spare rooms, and then go for all of the boss tiles, I would imagine. Blood draws the Expedited Blueprints advantage card here, getting another free resource building, as if his economy didn't need, his economy didn't need any more help. Goes ahead and utilizes that Exsanguinate Tier 2 ability. The guy who created the cards, kind of see that, from a mile away. And what does this also do? This contributes to the general's blood doping passive. So this is like him sacrificing 5 soldiers, which, if I'm not mistaken, puts him close to that very pivotal, crucial 20 soldiers sacrificed and or killed by his general. And so that's what I meant by this field being a short-lived claim by Air. The enemy was going to just be able to eliminate the army. So really, just eliminating an army is not that strong of a Tier 2 card. But the fact that it's contributing to your general, giving him a permanent +10 on any time he's in battle, that's huge. Expedited blueprints, getting a resource building, a free resource building. Like we said, as if he needed more help. I believe he put it on this mountain. Didn't see where he put it. Utilizing that new Tier 2 passive for Blood Rush that replaced the Blood Doping passive, his general, once he gets to 10 soldiers sacrificed and or killed, he becomes a moving barracks that he can train soldiers at a discounted rate. Purchases 4 soldiers from the altar and sacrifices them, which I believe that puts him to 19. It really feels like Justin is doing a lot of math in his head. He sees he's got 1 soldier that he's going to kill with his general on this field. Sacrifices just 4 because that's all he needs to sacrifice. And this is going to put him at that 20 soldier sacrifice total. So that when he goes tier 3, he already has access to that channeling Dracula passive. Claims that field back, purchases a castle on there. I think this is the first purchased castle. Keep in mind, they have that passive where every 3rd tile that they actually purchase, they get a free castle. But this one, he wants to make sure he holds it. The intercepting cargo advantage card drawn by Aether, allowing him to steal some resources. Trains 3 soldiers on the tile with his general. Aether just going tier 2 last turn, fresh off killing Lorgaroth. Going for the tier 2 fleet of foot card. And if we just pause the map here, where is he going with this? Fleet of Foot allows the tile with his general. He can move all of the units on it with him 3 tiles away. Where's he going? He could go through the market into this mountain, perhaps aggressing upon blood. He could... There's not really any weak points for Earth, and that's kind of what Earth does. Let's see where he goes. Look at where that yellow head is going. I love the vision on this map. What I love most about this game is that everyone sees this game differently. Personally, I'm looking for where he's going at blood because it really, based on this positioning and based on Justin's words at the table, Justin thinks that Aether is coming after him. But Zach, it feels like he has no desire to kill him. He's going to win a different way. Mink is a low health boss. He's going for the boss tile. All the way across the board. 3 tiles away. Mink only has 25 health. And what does this do? It's a guaranteed win for him. That's his 2nd boss tile killed. That's a win condition for him. And I don't think many players that have played this game would go for that move. We're constantly focused on how we can impact our opponent when really we don't need to. Xenair's encroaching into enemy territory and it's just leaving it. Goes ahead and activates the boom economy, getting that free 2nd advantage resource building. So all of his military is on the northern part of the board. And just like that, we have Aether that was against the borders of blood and now is against the borders of earth. What a weird moving map. What a cool looking map. Aether has walked many miles. Activates that intercepting cargo advantage card as well. Stealing resources from blood. 3 food, 2 building materials. A very specific amount. Maybe he's doing math in his head, or maybe he sees blood's totals preventing him from doing something. Who knows what's going to happen here. But when I hear numbers like that, and yikes, the other really bad weather event for everyone at the table, half of all food is lost. Of course, that is affecting blood the most because they've got the most economy. And we see the updated resource totals. You notice food is low. Famine just hit. Channy at 925, Stanny 1825. So keeping him out of range for that tier 3. That 3 food does keep him out of range tier 3. Obviously, Xenair's had no idea that famine was coming. But Xenair's sitting at 11 and 15. So weakest economy, but he has the win condition. He's the only one with a win condition currently at the table. Cheney draws the Tear Gas Advantage card. Another great combat card. Great combat. Earth is getting some good advantage cards. He just needs to get into the action so he can use them. Throwing away that well-fed mercenary. He's been in his hand since turn 1 or turn 2, right? But not really in a position to battle with anyone. Constructs another barracks on that forest. What's he doing here? Not going to attack Aether. Not a battle that he wins. And he activates Quick Feet. Where's he going with it? Ooh! Look at the shifting board. And just like that, Earth is on the border of air. 2 tiles away. If you're someone who has played this game frequently, seen states of the board, everyone is like intertwined with everyone. It's a weird look to the game. And he activates the Summon Citadel card. Maybe this was in his plan the whole time, thinking 3 turns ahead. Now he's got this fortress sitting 2 tiles outside of Air's capital tile. And it is another mountain tile purchased for Earth. Holy moly! So not that many units to work with. But my gosh, Earth is... They're consuming the board at this point. All the building materials he could ever dream of. I would recommend that he needs to get to the market to make sure that he gets enough food. He needs to get to tier 3 ASAP. And then he can clean up this game in just a few turns, I think. A couple turns, probably. Look at this. I don't think I've ever seen this island that Air is on right now. What kind of positioning is this? Just sandwiched in 3 different directions by the Earth Nation. Look away for just a moment and someone is knocking on your door. Earth goes ahead and activates construction crew, getting, more free defense fortifications, as if he needed more. He's got building materials at the walls. Look at his resource totals at the top. 1 and 17. It's hanging off your screen. Can't see it. Sitting at 17 building materials still. But, might as well get some free defense fortifications where you can. Why not? Like I said, he really wants to get to that tier 3. Also, the potential of tectonic plates here. There are a few advantage cards that allow his general to, move over here next to these soldiers to where he could be attacking Air's capital next turn. Air's got to really hope that a couple advantage cards is not in the hands of Earth. Of course, Air has no idea what's in his hand, but he's got to hope for it, right? There's a potential that Air dies next turn. He doesn't even know it. But how could he effectively use plate tectonics over here in the next couple turns? You see, this desert has a castle, but this rainforest and this mountain do not. You move this desert closer. You're moving a star tile closer to your land, and you can attack basically defenseless tiles over here. And then you're just knocking on Blood's capital. I really love Earth's positioning in this game. Right? There's a couple turns where he didn't move where he probably should have, but look at where he is now. The too much baggage advantage card goes ahead and immediately activates it, tells Air to toss away one of their advantage cards, but all Air has is the Just Say No advantage card, so instead of just tossing it, he's going to activate it. Get that mess out of here! And he negates the baggage card, effectively the same effect. Blood utilizing their Transfusion Tier 1 card, which is going to give them the resources to actually go to Tier 3. And remember what we said. He already has Dracula active. He has sacrificed and or killed exactly 20 soldiers. His general can move up to 3 tiles a turn and bite an individual soldier, turning them to an army. Big, big, big swing here. Like I said, Blood's abilities were feeling mighty powerful this game. That 3-tile movement, oh my gosh. So this individual soldier became this pawn army, attacks the lake with 2 other soldiers. That's a confident win for Blood there. Where's his general going to go? His general has plus 40 added on to his attack and defense. Wow. Oh my, and look at this. Perhaps the most egregious act that Blood has, perpetrated yet. Massive economy. General is just a behemoth walking across the map. Goes all the way from this field to this lake over here. This defenseless star tile lake. Yikes. That felt pretty powerful. That felt perhaps too powerful. And just like that, Air has a win condition. The only one at the table with a win condition. But do we think he's in the strongest position at this table right now? Difficult to say. If he's able to squeak out 3 star tiles in some way, shape, or fashion, he wins automatically. But how is he going to be able to? This general's sitting on his star tile that he desperately needs. And I really like Blood looking to interfere with that. Air activates the Tier 2 card, a part of our past days with us, which allows him to regain access to 3 advantage cards that have been played this game. What does he take back? That crucial advantage card that was played several turns ago, Summon Home. And we know where it's going. It's going on that Blood General. Absolutely brutal. He's taking Intercepting Cargo, Summon Home. And he's going to take Boom Economy back. So he's going to bolster that economy, which we can see Air's numbers. They're not going up as fast as other nations in this game. Air doesn't have that resource bonus because of how aggressive they can be. But those advantage cards, regaining access to the powerful advantage cards when they are played in this game is huge and can do a variety of things. We're sending the Blood General back home for the second time this game. The Blood General has been sent back to his capital twice and frozen in place because of Cold Front. Yikes! Yep, constructs a resource building on that field, pretty far away from, opposing threats. Is he feeling confident that Earth's not going to attack here? Who knows? But he gets 2 resource buildings on that field, getting, added to that food total. Moves his soldiers into that desert, purchases, so he's trying to work his way out of that island that he put himself on. Cold Front gets reactivated after he purchased it from the Elemental Temple last turn. You can purchase abilities back, but you can't use it that turn. You have to wait till the next turn, so you have to think proactively. Cold Front gets activated once again. So Blood got sent home a second time, and once again cannot move back into enemy territory. Blood is feeling trapped. Removes the barracks on his rainforest. Opts to go for a resource building instead. Realizing his resources are significantly weaker than other elements right now. And so now this move to put the Boom Economy on this field tile directly adjacent to the enemy makes sense. He was going to replay Cold Front again, so the enemy can't attack him there. Makes a whole lot of sense now. Trading soldiers from his barracks on his capital. And his general activating Light-Footed, perhaps the latest I've ever seen this ability played. This is usually a turn 1 play. But because of that advantage card he had turn 1, he didn't have to utilize Light-Footed to gain extra ground on the board. And he's actually utilizing it to get out of the Mink tile and go back and take that Naked Lake tile. So he takes back that tile. Now he's only 1 star tile away from winning this game. Wait, that's not true. He only has the 1 star tile. He's got a star tile here at the field. He's got a star tile here at the mountain that he could threaten, but he's out of cards that give him that extra movement. And really, his soldiers aren't in a position to, pose any threat to anything. So Mink's going to be able to steal resources because he's the only one on this tile. Mink can steal 5 resources of food or BM from any opponent, but he can't be on a tile with friendly units on it. So now that Mink is alone on that tile, and Earth is not very good at taking on defenses, keep in mind, they didn't take that Tier 2 card that we were talking about at the beginning of this game. Didn't take that defensive fortification killer, which I think is a crucial mistake. Xenares gets the Scratch My Back announce card, giving 5 food to himself and an opponent. He gives it to Channy, but he says Mink's going to take it right back from him, so net 0 change. Activates that Intercepting Cargo again that he regained back from that Tier 2 advantage card. Steals building materials from Blood. I think there's a lot of wheels turning in the resources department here. Zach's he's running some numbers in his head. Wow. The East Off Limits weather card, essentially the same effect as the Cold Front. So basically, we've got 2 layers of Cold Front going on. No one can move to the east and guess what direction air is sitting in. So there's no chance these people are moving to the east in this direction. Let's look at these updated resources. Channy at 15 and 44. Can you say he's got enough building materials? Stanny at 28 and 21. Pretty healthy there. Xenares at 39 and 23. All these changes to his economy, he's right up there with the big boys. Now, he got a lot of free resources from advantage cards, Intercepting Cargo, and Mink. So that definitely helped a whole lot here. So Earth is going to construct a lot of resource buildings, he says. Forest, lake, he's bolstering that economy, maybe going for that 50-50 total win condition. Pretty close to achieving that in just a turn or two. What's the general going to do here? But yeah, we once again, we hit a point where it's both nations are struggling to move in any direction. Earth could attack here, but Earth's not an aggressive nation. That being said, he's got advantage cards. Does he have anything that can help him in this situation? He can train some additional soldiers on that mountain and attack. Air doesn't have defensive bonuses. Might be the play. Because Earth's in Tier 2, you can now construct 5 soldiers from each barracks. That's a rule for every nation. Constructs a full army, which he has opted to go with as the large lizard warrior. So looking like he's trying to go militaristic on this front over here. He draws the I'll scratch yours announce card. So he's going to get BM and give 5 more to someone else. Who's he going to give it to? Obviously not going to give it to Zach. Xenairs is, close to that 50-50 resource total. He's lacking in the building materials, so giving him more. He gives it to Stan, the correct move. That's going to, in the current state of the game, Xenairs cannot win. Activates tectonic plates. Where's it going? This star tile is getting sucked into the Earth Nation territory. Earth's general and his soldiers are moving into Blood territory. Where are they going? We mentioned this as a potential play earlier. Notice, Rainforest, no defenses on it. That's a lot of Blood's economy. Yikes. They're coming in. Earth is knocking on Blood's door over here. Yikes. The goblins and lizard warriors and orcs, they're taking out a huge chunk of Blood's economy right here. 3 resource buildings there. Bye-bye. Earth is knocking on the door of both Air's capital and Blood's capital. So notice what he did here. I love this vision. Like I said, everyone sees it in a different way. He can't move east, which means he wouldn't be able to attack that desert tile that was there. So what does he do? He activates his ability that swaps the positioning of the tile. So now when he's attacking, he's not moving east. He's attacking southwest. Brilliant! Absolutely beautiful. When life stops giving you lemons, make freaking orange juice, Channy says. So let's see what Blood does here. Blood is, wow. He's got pressure on both sides. I don't think he's feeling pressure from Air on that coastline. Air is just, approaching a victory if no one stops him. But I think Earth can, interfere here. Getting the marketplace, a free trade card there. Can't move east, so Blood is forced to go into conflict with Earth. Goes to the forest, trains a bunch of soldiers there. That's a lot of armies. Definitely a mistake there. He can train a total of 10 troops. 5 from his barracks, 5 from his general. Sorry, he just trained 1 soldier from his general and bid it utilizing the Channeling Dracula ability. So he's got 2 armies and 2 soldiers there. Pretty strong force. Builds a lot of castles. Fortifies this star tile that is now swimming inside of the Earth territory. I love what Earth has done. Like, he's got islands, just these outcroppings, these fortresses within enemy territory. It's absolutely brutal to look at as another player. Because you're not getting through it. It's just this constant pressure on you. And he's doing it to both opponents. He is fighting a war on 2 fronts. Blood is going to attack. Earth's defenses are no joke. Blood's got a massive general. Right? Sitting at 20 soldiers sacrificed. His general alone is attacking with a maximum value of 51. Maximum. But he's got 45 just there, period. And these armies, they're no joke either. This is a minimum of 30 coming from these armies, plus 2 on top of those soldiers. We're looking at a big force here. But Earth owns how many mountains? 1, 2, 3, 4 mountains over there? That's no joke. Earth's got 4 mountains, adding 4 to their dice roll when defending. Obviously, they both want some high rolls. Let's see what happens. Essentially, Air's cold front has forced 2 opponents to fight each other. They probably don't want to. What's the point of this battle for Blood? I mean, it's the only option he has. That's the point. The Earth Ogre General going against the Vampire Dracula General. What will happen? We need to see advantage cards if anyone's got them. They're both weighing what advantage cards to play here. Stanley does opt to go for the force roll. He can force his opponent to roll a dice a second time if he doesn't like the first roll. But Chetty plays a tear gas card, forcing 3 soldiers to disband. But the biggest impact of this is going to cause an army to split up, which is going to subtract from the dice roll bonus that they get. It forces an army to split up into groups of individual soldiers. So he's left with just an army and 4 soldiers there. That's going to subtract a good amount from his total. Earth, because of that food that he gained from his brick-by-brick passive after that victory last turn. His first militaristic victory, by the way. Stan rolls a 3 for his general. And just look at this at the bottom of your screen. What is that for his soldiers? The more important roll, of course, because the general's going to have a massive total no matter what. A 1 for his soldiers. So Channy separates the army. And then he rolls a 1. This is not looking good for Blood. Let's see what happens for Earth. Earth rolls a 3 initially. Earth rolls a 4 for his soldiers. Blood has him roll again. Rolls a 3. Let's see what the totals are. Stan is really good at rolling those 1s. And Blood does lose the battle. Earth getting an extra 5 food because of the brick-by-brick passive. Any successful battle results in 5 food in the pocket. Blood is really good. Stan is really good at rolling those 1s. Yikes. And what do we have here? A large military force with just this castle sitting on it. Probably not enough to hold back the forces. He does have 3 soldiers there, actually. The tear gas, he's able to opt for. He's able to select where his soldiers are going to go. So he does move them to the mountain with that tear gas applied. Air's going to take his turn, but he's had all this time while they've been doing their battle. They've been, crunching their numbers and all that. Zine Air's been crunching his own numbers. So here's the deal. He would have to spend resources to gain access to those extra star tiles. Or if he does just a few things, he can get to a 50 and 50 resource total, getting both 50 food and 50 building materials. A second win condition for him. Can he do it? He's got Mink that's going to steal from Earth just after this turn. And they're running the numbers. Looking at it, Zenair's currently sitting at 31 and 27. He's going to trade in enough food for building materials at his mark. He's getting a lot more food than building materials. And he gets to exactly a total of 50 and 50 at the end of this turn. What a photo finish. Exactly 50 and 50. It's beautiful. And really, thinking back on previous turns, the numbers that Zenair's was throwing out, it's like he was doing this math several turns in advance. Don't know if that's true, right? But that's how it worked out. Gets to exactly 50 and 50 at the end. I don't think we ever pan over to it. Let's see what happens. I don't think so. I think that's over. So who did you have at the beginning? Who did you have at the beginning? Did you have Air coming out on top? Zine Air's going for back-to-back published wins. Coming over the freshly buffed Blood Nation. And Earth just ransacking the board. And I think was just a turn or two away from winning. Truly. He could have killed he could have probably killed Air and Blood within the next couple of turns. Because Air's at a point where, yes, they've got the most resources, right? They've got those bosses in the bank. But in terms of presence on the board, they might be, a little bit bigger than Blood, but they're not bigger than Earth. If this game goes on for a few more turns, Air doesn't win this. And so Zach winning when he can. So who did you have? Thank you for joining us in our first iteration of the 3-player version of Empires of Aether. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll get involved. Check out the Discord links down below. Check out our other videos that we have on this channel. Check out our website, empiresofaether.com. Get involved with the next greatest game! Holy moly! And by the way, we're writing stories. We're writing lore for this. We're writing lore! Just finished the background story on Earth. Earth. A nation that was played in this game. I'll post that link in this video as well. And I hope you'll stop by. I hope you play. Plan on having a tournament here pretty soon. Prizes abound. I love you. See you soon.